Good evening, truck and tractor pool fans. Here we are.
Hello,
One hook
hello.
left to go. Hello, hello. How's Dwayne tonight?
Oh, I'm doing all right. Doing all right. Lots of results tonight.
Lots of results tonight.
Lots of
Miss
results
Kendra.
tonight.
Miss Kendra's back.
I am. And it's always nice when people come up to me at pools and say they missed me. So clearly you two
Wow.
don't do a good enough job when I'm not here.
Nah, we're just here for the beer. Oh my. Something or another. But anyway. Yes,
Yep.
indeedy. Yeah. Man, we got some excitement brewing here with East Coast Pro Pooling for the final event coming up. We're going to get into that later after some results. Great event at Frederick, man. I'll tell you what, good crowd. I thought it was a great event. I know Dwayne and Kendra are going to cover some interstate classes and stuff from the Buck, and Kendra's going to take care of the light limiteds from Frederick. So
I've seen some pictures on Facebook of the Frederick show. It's a pretty nice venue they have there.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Good crowd for sure. Morale was up pretty good, man. I mean, everybody was out there going for broke. We had some New York pullers there and 6 in the mod class. That was nice to see, and good numbers all across the board. So I want to go ahead and get started so we can eventually work our way toward this big gun-slinging showdown coming to Delmar, man. That's going to be a good one. We got some exciting points races. In fact, I'm going to pull them up while y'all are talking your stuff and go over a couple classes. We had some lead changes, and we've got a class tied for points going to the finals. It's going to be awesome. So, shootout coming in 2 weeks, baby. That's all I could say. Sit back and enjoy the ride. But
Now I might have to go.
You absolutely must go.
See if the condo is open in Ocean City, then I'd only have a couple-minute drive for nighty-night rather than 4 hours.
It'll be a little more than a couple minutes, but
I was going to say, I think Ocean City's further away than you think.
Yeah.
What is it, about 45 minutes?
40 minutes maybe. Half hour, 40
but
minutes.
I'm at the top end. I'm almost Delaware line, so I'd have to drop down, cut across 50, then run the whole way up the strip or come in the middle because I'm on the place that we normally go to is on 126th. It's almost at Fenwick Island.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that wouldn't be too bad for you. But anyway, 7,500 pound modified tractors kicked off the fun at the Great Frederick Fair. And here we go. Jason McKenzie, with Never Satisfied, went into the event 2 points behind point leader at the time, Lynn Brookhart. Jason McKenzie took the win with Never Satisfied at 305.34. Second place, Lynn Brookhart with Radio Reactor at 283.32. And that went from a 2-point lead to a 0-point lead. And those two are going to be slinging some dirt in Delmar for that championship. And I'm going to tell you what, they're great friends. They put on a great show together, and it's going to be fun to watch. Third was Steve Frazier with the Blue Thunder out of New York at 269.69. Fourth, poor Ian Eric. Ian Ericker with Locked and Loaded, 263.82. And I'll tell you, he is normally a ringer when it comes to Frederick.
Say, that's usually his track.
His first hook attempt, the front magneto caught fire down bottom there and the front engine. They did get it put out, and he rehooked later and ended up going 263.82 for fourth place. Fifth was Phil Jones with the Attitude Adjuster at 259.32. And then sixth was Courtney Robinson with Phony Business at 166.27, unfortunately, putting a rod out the left front engine. So,
good evening to Dustin, David, and Nicole.
Absolutely. I'm even over on chat yet. I'm too busy getting paperwork ready here. You take care of that first.
I'll interrupt you.
I'm getting used to it, Dwayne. I'm just kidding. But I'm sure Dustin Freeburn, he was probably he I don't mean to make a spectacle out of you, Dustin, but he likes to talk to the engines on Never Satisfied before it goes in hooks. And wouldn't surprise me if he wasn't running around with a little Indian feathers or something, dancing a jig in a circle or something around the tractor there. So, but it worked.
Hey, man.
Okay,
whatever it takes.
It worked. And Nicole, David Kaufman, I don't know where Thumbs Up's at. He'll be on here. That's another story we're going to talk about here shortly. Next up was the ABC York 10,500 pound 466 hot farm tractors. We had a first time winner in this class Monday night. Nelson Harding with his Ford 9600 took the win. Beautiful run. Beautiful run for Nelson. 309.91. Second was Nick Morrison with Toxic at 305.24. Third, Brian Morrison with Shed Shaker. 298.99. Fourth was Doug Heyman with Bulls Binder at 293.28. Fifth was Tyree Cable with After Hours 2 at 291.71. Sixth, Luke Gladhill with Weapon X at 286.46. Seventh was Mike Moreland with Digging Deep at 285.78. Rounding out the class, Alan Lynch with Betting on Green at 260.62. And this class will go to Delmar, 5 points separating first and second. That's Bulls Binder and Shed Shakers.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be one to watch as well. Anything can happen anywhere, anytime. Hi, April. And next up, the Weimer Fuel and Turbo Super Stock Pro Stock Tractors. And cool story here for the Moore team. Davey Moore was first hook of the class with more agitation. About 100 foot, a little before 100 foot, popped an injector. And they went back frantically and fixed all that up. And he took the win with that tractor. And last hook of the class, Davey, on more agitation, fresh engine, ready to rock. 330.94. Good job, guys, getting it back together. And a hell of a pass. Second, Davey Moore with one more deer. 321.25. Third, Uncle Henry, as I like to call him, Henry Everman with Forced Decision, 321.05. Fourth was Steve Beckley with Up in Smoke at 268.51. Fifth was Tom Urmson with I Soar 2 at 263.09. Sixth was Jimmy Williams with Cadillac Red, 251.45. Seventh, Tommy Williams with Firestorm at 240.52. Eighth was David Everman with Overruled at 182.44, fuel issue. And ninth was Jimmy Duncan with the Massey Ferguson 1155 at 168.95. And that Massey is going to be a tractor we're going to see more often, probably in 2 weeks, and I'm sure starting next year. So big plan.
Yeah, hopefully they get that thing figured out, and
yeah, they will definitely. It'll definitely be interesting. Nice to see something different, and the willpower to make it work. So we'll see what happens. Next up, 20,000 pound limited pro stock semis, and they are sponsored by Susquehanna Truck Service. And taking the win, Jerry Martin with Inconvenience at 326.18. Monster run, man. Second, Dave Greek with Pressure Time at 319.72. Third was Dale Malinzak with Big Mo at 311.39. Fourth, Albert Brown with Back in Black at 310.88. Fifth was Hank Oster with the Scrapper at 303.09. And sixth was Bobby Joe Schwartz with the Dark Horse at 213.82. And we had a points leader change in that class too, as Dave Greek took over the points lead, but it's pretty close. They're both going to have to make great runs to give us a championship.
There's 4 points between them. I've got the
4 points. Okay,
here.
Yep, 4 points between them. So it's a showdown coming. We're going to talk about that, and I'm going to let you, Miss Kendra, go ahead and take care of the light limited tractors that were there.
Yeah,
that was the final class of the night. Mm-hmm.
Got to see somebody who hasn't been on the track with their light limited for a while. I saw Mark Smith brought the old 9600 out of the back corner of the shed. Now that's obviously a little bit of a joke there. That tractor's not kept in the back corner of any shed getting dusty. So that is Mark Smith's child. So the 9600 came out to the Frederick Fair and took home the win, 341.39 feet. Second place went to Bradley Wassler with Whistling Red at 338.23. Cool story about them. They actually build the track, so it's kind of nice that they get to be there and do well with their tractor as well. Third place, right behind Whistling Red, was Ben Flaherty Jr. with Smokin' Red at 338.20. So I don't know what 300ths of a foot is, but it's close. So
wow.
Good. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the dirt moved just a little bit in front of the sled there. Fourth place went to Bradley Seal with Mother-in-Law's Nightmare going 324.43. Fifth place went to Rusty Tanner with Second Chance going 322.85. Sixth place went to Jason Weichel with Unleashed going 318.74. Seventh went to Kevin Grubb with his John Deere going 299.31. Eighth place went to Macy Kiskadden with the Smoke Show at 294.84. And rounding out the class, ninth place was Sue Johnson with Iron Maiden going, unfortunately, only 15.96 feet. JR would have to shed some light on what happened there. I wasn't there and haven't seen any video. So
tried to leave the line and it just wouldn't go. I don't know any technicality why, but it just wouldn't light and go.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah. So it was a wrap for the Great Frederick Fair. It was a great tractor pull. Again, great crowd. And we're headed into a week off, and then we're going to be gunslinging in Delmar. We'll talk more about that shortly. Up to you two now.
All right, I'm going to do them in order, Kendra. So I'll bring you up after this first class. So I'm going to start. It was the Buck
Keep them
Motors.
straight, Dwayne.
I have them all in order, so that way I don't get confused.
He worked really hard to put everything in order before the show. So.
I made sure everything's in order. Okay. It's easier to remember what happened. A lot happens when there's two tracks going on, and so it was a 2-day pull, a Friday, Saturday. Actually, it was a 3-day pull: Friday, Saturday, Sunday pull at Buck Motorsports. And the first class up on the pit side was the 460s, or no, not 460. It was just Hot Farm. So we've been pull off Hot Farm class. And in first place was Nick Morrison with Toxic with a 353.05. In second place was Jeremy DeLuca with a Sunset Smoker. He had a 350.25. In third place was Doug Heyman with Bull's Binder. He had a 349.12. In fourth place was Brian Morrison with a Shed Shaker. He had a 343.29. In fifth place was Paul Richardson with Venom. He had a 316.09. In sixth place was Ryan Dangler with the Black Stallion. He had a 311.62. In seventh place was Dave Daughtry with Buzzard Bait. He had a 306.99. And in eighth place was Alex Ferry with Old Abe, and he had a 184.54. Then coming next was the Interstate Modifieds on my side. Kendra, you have those.
Yep. So 7 tractors were on hand. This was an interstate points class. Taking the win was a newcomer to the class, Eric. I think his name is Moniz, maybe. I don't know. With the Bad Reputation going 324.04 feet. Second place was Jason Weichel with Untamed at 313.82. Third place went to Ian Ericker with Unstable at 310.69. Fourth place went to Kirsty Robinson with Phony 2 at 309.86. Fifth place went to Dale Forrester driving Nonsense at 308.52. Sixth place, Don Haley with Track Fever at 302.34. And rounding out the class of 7 was Nelson Egoff with the Tinker Toy going 294.07. And yes, Nicole, I will piggyback on that. We had a great weekend. We stayed overnight there, had a little bit of a fire pit and did a fish fry for everybody there. And we just had a really good time. Stayed up entirely too late. Those diesel truck boys are a bad influence on me. And
did you learn anything?
Way too late, drinking way too many Arnold Palmers.
Did you learn anything new?
I beg to differ, young lady.
Listen,
I know where the bad influence is.
She wasn't a bad influence. She was just part of the team. They were all bad influence to each other.
I provided the safe environment, the welcoming environment, and it got to the point where you're like, you brought enough firewood, you might as well burn it all. And next thing you know, it's 4:00 in the morning, and you're like, these guys are going to want breakfast. The guys who didn't go to bed 4 a.m. are going to want breakfast.
Right.
A lot sooner than the rest of us. But no, we had a great time. We don't get to see John Mans a lot through the year, and we got to hang out with him and just a whole bunch of us, Chris Hoyt, Mike Weekland. It's so interesting, all these different people from walks of life, and just seeing everybody swapping stories and all that kind of stuff. So
yeah, you have a question there. I'll let you answer things you did the
one that just came out of the shed. That is a 49600 light limited, driven by Mark Smith. Listen, I will always blame the bowlers.
Brother Blaylock, how are you, buddy?
Oh, Nicole, I didn't realize that. You guys were right over there. You could have just, we could have all joined in together.
Right across.
Happy she invites you. We never get an invite. That's okay.
Maybe we were still getting up a little too slow for them. I think our breakfast was more like a brunch at around 10:30.
I've had 5 cups of coffee by the time you all get stirring in the morning. So
on Sunday morning at 7:00, I was running through camp trying to get to in one of the other places to find coffee filters for our big 10-cup coffee root beer. Yeah, for sure.
Dude, that
Ryan Morrison gave us more than a thumbs up. Oh my Lord!
Wow.
See, there's another comment. Being a bad influence right there.
I want everybody to screenshot that. Okay.
Yeah.
Because nobody else gets the thumbs up out of him. He took the time to type something. I'm impressed.
Crazy guy.
Yeah, but right there, there's one of our bad influences right there. That wasn't no A&W root beer. No, it was delicious.
Nicole said she was up by 6:30. So
yeah, nope.
Yeah, I think I missed out on all.
I did not see 6:30.
I think I missed out on all the fun.
You did.
I had to leave. I left before the pool was over to run back to camp and hang out with the family for the weekend. So I'd let them hang for a couple hours.
Where do you camp?
Yeah, Silver Spring Road, just about 10 minutes south of the park.
Yep.
So I was running back and forth, which wasn't too bad. It's better than a 45-minute drive. You're muted, JR. All right, I think I'm going to keep going here. I have another 10 pages of results or 11 pages of results. Next up on the pit side track was the two-wheel drive, modified two-wheel drives. Coming in first place was Irv Clark with Wild Side. He had a 265.68. In second place was Crystal Wilson with her Dirty Money. She had a 362.19. In third place was Steve Wilson with Running Bear. He had a 350.66. In fourth place was Darren Wilson with Dirty Money. He had a 345.50. In fifth place was Irv Clark with Taz Toy. He had a 339.70. In sixth place was Robbie Campbell with Reckless Horses. He had a 333.78. In seventh place was J.D. Bowker with Rolling Thunder. He had a 326.29. And eighth place was Lisa Bowker with 304.97. And ninth place was Aaron Zundal with a Steel City Shaker. He had a 268.36. And in 10th place was Bob Wittenbrader with Bear Express. He had a 239.11. Then we moved back over to to my side.
Hold on, Dwayne. The Black Stallion was an international. I'm not sure where he was out of. Dwayne, I don't know if the result sheet says where the Black Stallion originated from in that hot farm class.
Black Stallion is from Orfield, PA. up close to Allentown, just north of Allentown. And the driver that you were talking about, first place in Interstate Modified, is actually from Massachusetts. I got to talk with him a little bit. Nice guy, and I don't know if I've ever met him before. Possibly. So, yep, Black Stallion is Ryan Dengler from Orfield, PA. All right, back over. Announcer stand side was the side I was flagging. Next up, we had Light Limited Pro. In first place was Colton Zundell with the Steel City Smoker. He had a 347.30. In second place was Brent Naylor with Elbow Deep. He had a 341.90. In third place was Mike Weekland with Just Hooking Up. He had a 338.21. In fourth place was Chris Comaroni from New York with a 334.77. In fifth place was Cody Up with the Storm. He had a 333.80. In sixth place was Kevin Nutt, and I think he got 1 foot. Something happened with his tractor coming off the line, but he was able to bump the hook. So
I think I heard he broke a crank.
Oh, no. That's terrible. Terrible.
I don't know that for certain. That was the rumor floating around in the pits. Yeah. So don't take that for, I did not hear that from Kevin directly, but that's what I heard.
I gotcha. Then next up, we flip back over to the pit side on Charlie's track. And at first, we had the Dragon modified 4x4 trucks. And in first place was Dean Hitchcock with Grounds for Divorce. He had a 336.15. In second place was Greg Hitchcock with On Shaky Ground. He had a 335.20. In third place was Mason Brizendine. Did I say that right?
Brizendine.
Yeah. Brizendine. Okay. I'll probably mess that up many times. With a 334.07. In fourth place was Bucky Davis with the Punisher. He had a 332.90. In fifth place was Wesley Keys with Black Ice. He had a 330.54. In sixth place was Bill Kramer with a Contender. He had a 330.20. In seventh place was Jackson Kramer with Supernatural. He had a 322.51. In eighth place was Michael Adair with The Rock. He had a 319.80. In ninth place was Tammy Ziegler in the Iron Butterfly. She had a 252.02. And Will Hitchcock with the home wrecker didn't pull. Coming back over to the announcer's stand side, the last class that I flagged that evening was the Super Stock, Pro Stock Super Stock. Coming in first place was Chris Hoyt with a Nutcase. He had a 358.39. In second place was Josh Martin with Think Green. He had a 333.10. In third place was Henry Everman with Forced Decision. He had a 290.04. In fourth place was Rick Eakins with Shelby. He had a 285.85. In fifth place was Josh Martin with That Darn Deer. He had a 279.55. In sixth place was Lance Mysick with High Hope, and he had a 275.39. In seventh place was David Everman with Overruled. He had a 264.01. And in eighth place was Tom Ermson with Eyesore 2. He had a 262.46. Then going back to the pit side, the last class of the evening on Friday evening was the Super Stock 4x4 diesel class. Coming in first place was John Mans with the Crazy X. He had a 306.52, and hot on his tail was Norm Newswanger with Chapter 11. He had a 303.49. You have any comments?
We was coming for him.
3 feet.
Got to make him sweat a little bit.
Coming in third place was a truck that I actually haven't seen in person yet this year. It was Jesse Warren with Sharkbait. He had a 295.47. In fourth place was Tom Hasser with Twisted Addiction. He had a 289.86. In fifth place was James Barter With the Barter Turbo Service Blue 40 at a 234.16, and in 6th place was Jeremy Denson with 2 Disturbed at a 58.65. And Jeremy blew a turbo again. He blew the spare turbo that was on his truck, donated by another puller, and that other puller pulled a rabbit out of his hat and had some turbo parts or something laying around. And they went and cleaned up what was, then why did, okay.
I don't know what story you heard, but that's not what happened.
Okay.
No, he had a borrowed turbo on Saturday night. Friday night was a turbo he bought.
Oh, okay. My bad.
Yeah, he had bought that turbo.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Greensboro. And then it popped there at the Buck. And then he borrowed a charger on Saturday. So
okay. I was under the impression that there was actually some parts from the blown up turbo that were put on. Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, my bad. I'm sorry. I confused that story. I heard it directly from the horse's mouth. That's where the story came from, but apparently I confused it.
Well, he might have used like the housing or something off of the first charger, but no. Yeah.
James is the one that had told me about it, and I might have confused that. I didn't realize that he had a new turbo. But anyway, it was quite the fiasco for him, blowing 2 turbos and 3 pulls or something to that effect. So glad that
you're probably combining Barter and Denson's stories.
Yeah, it could be.
Because Barter had a similar situation as Denson.
Oh.
So
you go.
That's probably
there you go. That's probably what happened. I didn't hear. I need Paul Harvey to tell me the rest of the story.
There was a lot of turbo stuff happening there between them too.
Good deal. All right. Well, that takes care of everything for Friday night. Then moving into Saturday night, the first class on the pit side was again the Hot Farm. And coming in first place was Jeremy DeLuca with the Sunset Smoker. He had a 361.93. In second place was Nick Morrison with Toxic. He had a 358.44. In third place was Brian Morrison with a Shed Shaker at a 356.83. In fourth place was Nelson Harding with a 345.84. In fifth place was Alan Lynch with Betting on Green. He had a 238.04. In sixth place was Paul Richardson with Venom. He had a 329.22. In seventh place was Ryan Dengler with a Black Stallion at a 305.32. And in eighth place was Alex Ferry with Old Abe. He had a 303.15. Then the first class on the side I was on was the Pro Stock Super Stock. In first place was Chris Hoyt again with a Nutcase. He had a 340.13. In second place was Josh Martin with Think Green. He had a 319.68. In third place was Henry Everman with Forced Decision with a 303.64. In fourth place was David, David Everman with Overruled. He had a 266.77. In fifth place was Josh Martin with That Darn Deer. He had a 259.05. In sixth place was Lance Mysick with High Hope, a 225.22. And in seventh place was Tom Ermson with Eyesore 2. He had a 294.21. And I was hoping Lance Mysick was first up, and he really seemed to skid on the top of the track and not get any traction. So it wasn't a very good hook for him, but it was nice to see them down from New York. Second class on the pit side was the Dragon. No, you guys were second class on the pit side on Saturday, right?
I can't remember. No, I think we were towards the end. Yeah, we were last class.
I have it right. That was on Friday night. On Saturday night, you were third class, and then two-wheel drives were behind you.
Yeah. Yeah, I think, we were last class on Saturday night.
Next.
Hold on.
He thought he was.
he's hiding in the background.
When you didn't say us until the end, I was like, I thought we were early on Friday night because I went over and got Chris's milkshake.
Yeah.
So.
Next up was the modified 4x4 from Dragon Motorsports. In first place was Wesley Keys with Black Ice. He had a 346.10. In second place was Greg Hitchcock, driving on shaky ground. He had a 344.11. In third place was Michael Adair with The Rock. He had a 340.21. In fourth place was Dean Hitchcock, driving Grounds for Divorce. He had a 337.94. In fifth place was Mason. Say that again. Bresendine with Cut Loose. He had a 337.53. In sixth place was Bucky Davis on Seldom Seen. He had a 334.07. In seventh place was Nathan Mayota with Show Off. He had a 320.62. In eighth place was John Clark.
You're muted.
With Rat Infested. He had a 313.63. Then moving back over to the side I was on was the light pro class, light limited pro stock class. And in first place was Colton Zundell with a Steel City Smoker. He had a 338.93. In second place was Cody Up with a Storm. He had a 317.36. In third place was Eli Zimmerman with a 307.72. In fourth place was Brett Naylor with a 292.95, and in fifth place was Mike Wheatland with Just Hooking Up, and something happened. He got 16.46 feet. And do you know what happened to him, Kendra?
Mike Wheatland?
Yeah.
His cam broke.
Oh, no.
He seemed okay with it. He has his big pool coming up the first weekend of October, so he's just hopeful he can get it back out for that, or possibly even make a test pass at Bloomsburg, so he's not on a fresh engine for his literal backyard pool. So.
All right, next up was the two-wheel modified trucks, two-wheel drive modified trucks. On the pit side, in first place was Irv Clark with the Wild Side. He had a 373.55. In second place was Irv Clark with the Taz toy at a 343.61. In third place was J.D. Bowker with Rolling Thunder. He had a 330.20. In fourth place was Robbie Campbell with Reckless Horses. He had a 326.57. In fifth place was Lisa Bowker with a 311.11. In sixth place was Bob Wittenbrader with Bear Express. He had a 300.19. And in seventh place was Aaron Zundall with a Steel City Shaker. He had a 226.29. And all I remember of this class is looking over in the middle of the pool and seeing Bob Wittenbraden with Bear Express making a really nice pull. Next up on the last class on the announcer stand side was the Open Modified. We had four tractors there. They were sponsored by the Les Landis family. Les Landis family, I think, put up all the payout for this class. So thanks to them for sponsoring this. Coming in first place was Tommy Owens with Ramblin' Rose. He had a 316.14. In second place was Dylan Owens with Thorn. He had a 230.98. In third place was Steve Frazier with Blue Thunder 3. He had a 218.97. In fourth place was Bob Wittenbrader with Live Wire at a 147.78. And I finally figured out why the Open Modifieds are the hardest class to flag, or this tractor. With these short header Hemis, there is so much shock wave in the air. It's actually hard. I can't focus my eyes on the rear tires hardly. It distorts your vision so hard that you can't barely focus on when the whole thing stops moving, because I was back fairly far because I thought he was going to have a really good run, and it's still the same thing. by the time he gets down there, there's just so much going on. You can't hardly even focus on the tires. Then the last class of the night on the pit side was the Superstock Diesel 4x4s. Coming in first place was John Mans with the Crazy X. He had a 350.09. In second place was Norm Newswanger with Chapter 11. He had a 328.43. In third place was Tom Hassler with Twisted Addiction. He had a 310.03. In fourth place was Jeremy Denson with 2 Disturbed. Had a 309.60. In fifth place was James Barter with the Barter Turbo Service Ford. He had a 249.21. In sixth place was Kervin Zimmerman with the Outlaw. Had a 185.20. In seventh place was Jesse Warren with Sharkbait. He had 52.02. Anyway, it was nice to see Kervin back out after he had some engine issues that he got fixed up. He was first up on the track and attempted and had a pretty nasty bounce going on and let out of it. And so he came back at the end of the class and attempted again and still couldn't shake the bounce. So, all right. The classes for the weekend was there was also weekend champions for total distance pulled. So the distances for both nights was combined for a trophy. And in the Hot Farm, the distance winner or the weekend champion for Hot Farm was Jeremy DeLuca. And Jeremy DeLuca was also crowned Hot Farm points champion for Pull-Off Productions. In the light pro class, it was Colton Zundell. Super Stock 4x4 diesel class was John Mans. Pro Stock Super Stock class went to Chris Hoyt. The open modified 4x4 went to Dean Hitchcock. Sorry, that was Dragon modified 4x4 went to Dean Hitchcock. And the modified two-wheel drives went to Irv Clark. So those were the weekend winners. Then on Sunday there was two classes that I'm going to just do the top three here. The first class up was Altered Farm. In first place was Wes Zimmerman. In first place was Wes Zimmerman on a Farmall 1206. He had a 300.22. Second place was Zach Ekman with a John Deere 4020. He had a 289.39. And third place was Joey Radell with a John Deere 7615. He had a 287.52. And the next class I'll do top five is King of the Farm, which I guess is kind of like Snyder County's Enhanced Farm, I think. In first place was Joel Hawkins with a John Deere 4450 at a 312.85. In second place was Jake Blake Jr. with an International 1466 at a 309.91. And third place was Justin Wisser, Ryan Dengler, with an International 1066 at a 309.17. In fourth place was Brad Kiefer with a John Deere 4055. He had a 308.52. And in fifth place was Brad Kiefer with a John Deere 4255. He had a 306.97. So anyway, that's what I had for the weekend down there. That was quite a lot of results.
Yeah, big weekend.
Still has his mic muted. It's making a lot of hand motions.
Don't you understand JR's hand language? That's it?
Yeah. What's the sign language? I can do the rest of them. There was 12 in the class. No, that's all right. We have some promoting to do yet too.
Yes, we do.
Our hour runs out. We don't want to.
Yes, no.
We don't want to extend our hour too far.
Limited time tonight. Yes. For sure. Kendra.
Yes.
What you got?
So, coming up, not this weekend, but tomorrow and Friday, Interstate has the last 2 of 3 points hooks to round out the season. Tomorrow, Gratz, Pennsylvania, the Gratz Fair, a wonderful little fair up there right above like Halifax area.
I really want to get there. I really want to go to that pool. I can't tomorrow because, by the way, the wife turns, I ain't going to tell you the age, but it's her birthday tomorrow. So
nice.
Yeah, that's why
happy
I
birthday.
won't be any schooling associated tomorrow.
You mean she doesn't want to go to the wonderful Gratz Fair for her birthday?
She's
As you were saying,
she's coming to my neck of the woods for her birthday. She's going for her free birthday meal at Shady Maple Smorgasbord.
Shady Maple.
JR the big spender, taking her somewhere where she can get a free dinner.
Hey.
What a guy. What a pal.
I'll tell you a little secret. It's a good deal. That's a pretty I think if it's on a Wednesday night, is that prime rib night? Now wait a minute, Thursday night. I'm not
Craig
sure.
Cooper, we will. Just give us a minute to get to it, Craig. We'll read it.
We'll figure it out. Yeah. I'll let them know.
All right, so Gratz, Pennsylvania, tomorrow night, 7 p.m. start time, $7 to get you in the gate, which is really cheap for a county fair. 7,800 interstate mods, 8,500 mod turbos, 6,200 two-wheel drives, the 10,500 pound Snyder County hot stock class, and then they are doing a street diesel class for pickup trucks, as well as a run what you brung pickup truck class. And then on Friday, the 20th, we're going to Beaver Springs, Pennsylvania for the Beaver Fair. $5 to get in. Again, super cheap for these little county fairs all over the place here in Pennsylvania. 6:30 start time, going to be running the 6,200 two-wheel drive trucks, 7,800 modifieds, 4,500 small block trucks, 8,500 mod turbos, the Snyder County Enhanced Farm class, as well as the Snyder County 8,500 pound Light Pro 9,000 pound 4-1 combined class. So going to be running both nights there, Thursday and Friday. Then nothing, I think Beaver has some Snyder County classes on Saturday. And then we're going to be off for a week. And then the grand finale of the Interstate Point Circuit, the Bull Pool in Harrisonburg, Virginia on October the 5th. Start time, 6 p.m., $10 will get you in the gate. Going to be running a whole slew of classes. Going to be the 8,500 pound mod turbo, 10,000 pound pro farm, 7,700 pound light limited, 11,000 pound hot farm, 6,200 modified 4x4, the 6,200 national 4x4 class, pro stock semis, 8,000 pound street legal trucks, 12 and 15,000 pound farm stock tractors, as well as an unlimited 4x4 tractor class. And that'll do it for the Interstate Points Series. 3 more pools, 2 more weeks.
Time is winding down. It's time to start looking for those little pools here and there, including antique pulling. Hey, antiques count too.
Can I do one before you do your big hoorah there, JR? I'll do a quick one.
Go ahead.
Snyder County Tractor Pullers. They're going to have the hot stock at Gratz Fair tomorrow night, 7 p.m. September the 20th, which is Friday night, they'll be at Beaver Fair with Enhanced Farm and the Light Pro 4-1 Limited class. September the 21st, which is Saturday, they'll again be at Beaver Community Fair. Both Beaver Fairs are 6:30 p.m. start time. On Saturday night, they'll have Hot Stock, 2.6 Pro Street, 3.0 Limited Pro Diesel, Pro Street Gas, and Wild Street. Then moving on, September the 28th, they'll be at the CS Pulling Productions Truckers for Hope Pool at Clinton County Speedway. They'll have 2.6 Pro Street, 3.0 Limited Pro, and their Pro Street Gas classes. And then the grand finale for the points for Snyder County Championship Night and also Kids Night will be on October the 5th, Saturday afternoon. It'll start at 1 p.m. And they will have Enhanced Farm, Hot Stock, Mod Turbo Super Farm, the Light Pro 4-1 Limited, 2.6 Pro Street, 3.0 Limited Pro, Pro Street Gas, Wild Street, Run What You Brung, and 10,000 Open. So that is what I have. And one last thing here. if you're wondering what you're going to have for dinner tomorrow night, it's Thursday night. Features fried shrimp, hot and cold steamed shrimp, chicken wings in 4 flavors, barbecued ribs, pulled pork, beef brisket, carved ham, grilled chicken, and steak. So pick your protein.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It'll probably be lunch. I don't think we'll go up that late. So
either way.
But I appreciate that. Yeah, awesome. Yeah, looking forward to October 5th. That's going to be cool.
Yep.
Going to be cool. Anyway, Craig Cooper has sent us some information. I'm going to put it on the bottom of the screen as well. Southeastern Ohio Pulling Series will be tomorrow night, 7 p.m., Albany Independent Fair in Albany, Ohio. Classes are 9,500 pound 466 hot farm tractors, cheater stock, gas trucks, 2.6 smoothbore diesel trucks. Looks like we also have the mod stock gas trucks, work stock diesel trucks, pro stock gas trucks, 10,000 pound, 3,000 RPM, 12 mile per hour tractors. So, not quite as big as the one they just had, but nevertheless, plenty of classes. That's tomorrow night, 7 p.m. in Albany, Ohio. Cool deal. And he put a note in down here for Chris Lloyd Pools back here. We all know Chris Lloyd in diesel truck class. He at the Old Washington, Ohio event, which I believe was this past weekend. He did go 309.85. So Chris Lloyd did go out to Ohio to support them. So good job, Chris. And thank you, Craig, for that information. Now I'm going to go ahead and East Coast Pro Pulling is down to the final event, September 28th at 7 p.m. at the Delaware International Speedway in Delmar, Delaware. And this is, like I've been saying, this is a gunslinging finals here because the points in at least 3 classes are tight. 1 class is tied, and everything's going to be on the line. Everything's going to be on the line, and nothing's going to be held back. It's going to be a shootout. 7,500 pound modified tractors, again, the class that's tied for first in points between Lynn Brookhart and Jason McKenzie. I wish good luck to both those guys. We'll have the modified 4-wheel drive trucks, the Weimer fuel and turbo super stock pro stock tractors, ABC York 466 hot farm tractors. Again, 5-point difference between first and second. Anything can happen there. The East Coast diesel 4-wheel drive trucks will be on hand, as well as the limited pro stock semi trucks, which had a lead change after Frederick. And Kendra, I believe you said that's a mere 4 points.
4 points.
A mere 4 points, dividing first and second place there. So, by all means, if you don't mind a little trip, drive on down Delmar, Delaware to Delaware International Speedway. It's a pretty cool little facility, and the crowd there is freaking phenomenal. We were there. I mean, phenomenal. So, Delmar, Delaware, 7 p.m., September 28th.
This makes me a little bit jealous. We could use some more crowd at Beast of the East.
But
well,
by all means,
I think their advantage is it's not a lot of pulling down there.
No.
Yeah.
You know, I think we all take advantage of the fact that pulling is saturated in our area. I mean, how many pools can you go to within a 2-hour drive? It's insane. Yep. Down there, they don't have that. What would be their next closest? Greensboro would be their next closest hook.
Greensboro, yeah. As far as
I think so.
That style of pulling, Greensboro, Easton, those two would be the closest to there. For East Coast
so their next closest, would be Greensboro. You're right. There's nothing else in Delaware, is there?
Mm-mm. No, so I think down there everybody shows up because it's a once, twice, 3 times a year thing, whereas around here, especially this South Central Pennsylvania region,
Now, if you pull antique tractors, there's pools all over the place. But as far as the big pools,
there used to be a Pocomoke pool, right?
Pocomoke City. Who's itching to have another big pool? So we'll see what happens.
So that would be a little bit. That would be a little bit further south. That would be a little bit further south, just before you get to Virginia.
That's a good bit further south.
That's way farther south.
What do you mean?
That's down yonder. Down yonder.
How far is it from Delmar to Pocomoke? An hour?
Probably. Yeah. If I had to guess, somewhere in that neighborhood. But for sure, I mean, it's going to be a shootout. These guys are going to let it all hang out. Again, I know we got some trucks coming from northern Pennsylvania for the modified 4x4 class. We did decide a couple champions here so far this year. Light pros are finished, and Jeff Michelacci with Demented is the 2024 Light Pro champion. And Pro Stock 4x4 trucks, Kathy Jewell with Tenacious. Just winning. Oh, you know what? We didn't do Winchester. What's wrong with me? That was Saturday night.
Yeah, there was. My bad. I didn't even think about it either.
Oh, my Lord. I am so sorry, folks. I'm not used to having two pools in one weekend like that. Yeah. Here we go.
The Saturday one for the Monday one.
Here we go. Yeah. Kathy Jewell, I'm going to go ahead and tell you she won her class and sealed the points title up at Winchester. So congratulations, Kathy. And I'm going to go ahead and go through these Winchester results. Some days. Light limited tractors were on hand. They started the night off. Cody Anderson with his 1066 took the win at 329.61. I'm really surprised somebody didn't chime in and say, "Hey, jackass, you forgot an event." Second was Rusty Tanner with Second Chance at 326.73. Third, a name I haven't spoken in a while, Jason Caudle with the Cicada Tractor International at 321.54. Fourth, Ben Flaherty with Smoking Red at 307.38. Fifth was Kevin Grubb with his 4450 John Deere at 302.81. I almost said it, didn't I? Sixth was the Hot Mess Express driven by Tabitha Sampson, normally this night driven by Scott Kiskaden, 288.64. Seventh was Macy Kiskaden with Smoke Show, 279.42. And that rounded that class out. And Jimmy Williams was on hand with Cadillac Red mid-exhibition pass at 325.21. That's probably somebody saying something to me now. Hey, you forgot something. Next up will be the Pro Stock 4x4 trucks, and again, promoter and 2024 champion Kathy Jewell took the win with Tenacious at 340.86. Second was Eric Rittenauer with the Crazed Obsession, beautiful Ford truck, 336.75, runs as good as it looks. Third, Brad Broy with Cash Only at 332.82. And fourth was Scotty Harlow with the Untamed Horses Chevrolet at 328.66. And we went into the big boys, 6,200-pound modified 4x4 trucks. And taking the win was Wayne Tapscott the second with High Anxiety at 315.71. Second was Will Hitchcock with the home wrecker at 313.69. Third, George Abshire with Gone AWOL at 304.06. I tell you what, George is building these trucks and really doing a good job. Congratulations, young man. You're doing really well this year. Fourth was Jared Partley with the Silver Bullet at 301.33. Fifth was Matthew Fant with the Big Show Chevy at 300.82. Sixth was John Dugan with Damage Plan at 299.42. Seventh was Wayne Tapscott the third, or Roger Tapscott. Tasmanian Terror 2 at 294.42. Eighth was Chris Whited with the Rambler Chevy at 292.06. Ninth was Chad Lamb with the Virginia Outlaw 2.0 at 292.04. 10th was Troy Nels with Killing Time, 280.18. 11th was Dennis Grove with the Mountain Mule at 277.54. And 12th was Glenn Dugan with the White Horse, 201.09. Then we went into a small class of modified street 4x4 trucks. Okay, just making sure I got the orders right here. Okay, taking the win, Donald Mongol with the one-shot Ford at 311.07. Second was James Griffith with the Sassy Ford at 305.72. Third was Jason Griffith, and I believe that one's called Saucy. Sassy and Saucy, yep, 305.49. Third. Fourth was Caitlin Lacey, which is Jamie Wright's Looking for Dirt, at 301.68. And fifth was Terry Robbie with the Code Blue at 298.62. And sixth was Cooper Guffrey with the Buckshot at 295.99. And we had 25 street diesel 4x4 trucks. And I have not done the rundown. I apologize. I'm going to give you the top three because we're approaching 1 hour. But huge class of trucks. Joey Saffel, I believe, the ugly truck it's called, took the win at 313.57. Second was Evan Moser with his 07 Dodge at 305.01. And third was Tony Utzi with the Porch Honky at 299.88. I love that name. And like I said, I apologize. I didn't go down through and get the rest of the class rundown. But those were your top three. And, man, 25 trucks. That's a big
25
class.
trucks is a heck of a nice class.
Big class. Very big class. And that's good to see your local guys turn out like that. Support you. But it was a good event at Winchester. The crowd was okay. And we hope to be back there next year for a couple of events as well. So, sorry about that. Almost forgot you. Sorry.
It was that far down the list.
That far out of memory.
Yeah.
No, I'm used to having one event per weekend, and for East Coast, and surprise, we had a Saturday and a Monday this year. So, Hillsdale County Fair has their trash pool on Friday night at 7 p.m. for Michigan. Okay, Hillsdale County Fair. Okay, just checking over all the messages here. Talking to Duante. Hiya, Beast.
What's up?
Yeah.
David Blaylock from Oregon.
Tell you what, I feel bad about that. You let me at least give you the top 10 in that class. So find something to talk about, Dwayne. You're good at that.
Oh, I just sent something. It's wood-fired dill pickle pizza in honor of Kendra. And the person that had it said it was the best they've ever had. So interesting.
I don't know if I could do. I'm not a pickle on stuff. You know what I mean? I enjoy pickles, both the truck and the food, but
I'm the same way.
Pickles on a pizza.
I think I don't know. I think they get kind of slimy when they're heated. Or they get kind of mushy when they're heated. I'm not. What's JR laughing about? You don't like that? Conversations off the beaten path. Something that I did think of when I was doing the results there, Chris Comaroni had come down from New York. He's north of Albany somewhere. And I talked with him for a little while, and he said that he was going back to, oh no, I'm having a brain fart. Vermont. They had a pool in Vermont.
Yes. Yep.
Oh, I can't think of the name of the town now. Middlebury. Addison, Vermont. And if I am not messed up, somebody showed me a video in the middle of our pool on Saturday night of Chris's run at Addison with the bottom blowing out of his engine.
Oh, no.
Like totally blown out with all the oil dumping down the track like bad. So I didn't get to do a checkup to see if that was a current video. It was just a quick flash in the middle of the pool. And so hopefully if that was the case, he can get his tractor fixed back up and get it going.
I just pulled up the Midwest Winter Nationals drivers list, and it has probably doubled since 2 weeks ago. So if you are interested in going to Gordyville, Shipshewana, Cloverdale, however you want to combine that for the new Midwest Winter Nationals, get signed up and get signed up soon. Classes are filling up already, which is insane because they don't have their countdown going on yet. Usually they have a little countdown here on their first page of their website. Wow. But January 9th through the 11th, so it is less than 3 months away. I just got a notification that Christmas is only 100 days away.
Wow,
so
that's crazy.
We are 3 months out from the first winter pool of the year, which is insane because we're still summertime pulling, I guess you would say.
Well, it's a good time of year. I love the weather this time of year. It's not too hot. It does get warm in the daytime, but cool in the evenings. So I'm enjoying it.
Okay, I'm going to give you these top 10 in that diesel street. I like to do this because it's street diesel. 4x4 trucks from Winchester, Virginia. Again, taking the win is Joey Saffel with the ugly truck at 313.57. Second was Evan Moser with his 07 Dodge 30501. Third, Tony Utzi with the Porch Honky at 299.88. Fourth was Alan Casey with his Dodge at 295.17. Fifth, looks like Brady Kaufman with Daddy Scrap Money at 294.96. Sixth was Michael Rang with a Dodge at 291.40. That's tough to decipher there. Seventh was man. I should have just stopped with the top three. Looks like Gail Dawson with a 97 Dodge at 286.58. Eighth was Brandon Boyer at 286.42. Ninth, Austin Heck with a 07 Ford at 282.45. And rounding out the top 10, Alex Shipley with a 05 Ford, 276.09. So, good job. Glad to see people like that show up. It's a huge class. Huge class. And there was a big class over at Berryville a couple of weeks prior to that. So,
anyway, did you recognize the second place driver in that class?
Probably. Sure I do. I don't remember who it was, but you're gonna make me look. Evan Moser, yeah.
Evan Moser used to run the Mac semi for the Antrim.
Antrim Diesel. Yep.
Antrim Diesel clan.
Yep.
I think he has his own
Richard
thing
Price
going
and crew. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, he's always been done well with the diesel trucks too here. So I believe he does some drag racing or has done some drag racing with him.
But yeah, I got to know him many years ago.
Yep. Yeah, Tom, we just reread that off. Tractor Pull Friday night. Yep. Hillsdale.
What is a trash ball?
Tractor pull. I think that's what he meant to say.
Yeah, I think spell check got the best of him there.
I tractor pull. I knew what he meant.
Yeah. When I read that the first time around, I had to look at it twice. I'm like, what?
Yeah.
You guys do it different in Michigan.
It's been up in Bowling Green, right?
There you go.
Okay. We appreciate everybody tuning in. Like, subscribe, share. Hit that thumbs up. It's all free. It don't cost you anything to be a channel subscriber. We appreciate it. And it makes us look good for our lovely friends at YouTube. So we'll be back next Wednesday. Somebody's going to have results for us, right, guys? I won't have anything.
Well,
I can get interstate results, yeah.
Unless I disappear somewhere. Well, Saturday, yeah, probably will. I might find something. I have a couple things in mind.
Yeah. we'll have beaver and grats.
Perfect. Okay. Well, you heard it. We'll be back next Wednesday, 8 p.m., Lord willing. And we'll probably talk a little more about the big gunsling coming up. I'm going to see if I can get any talking from some of the pullers. I'll try to reach out to them. And
yeah, it's going to be a big deal. And I'm
I
getting
think
excited.
It's sling a little slop, if you will. Especially at modified class. Those two boys, though, man, oh man, oh man. Those two tractors are going to be tuned up, let me tell you. Man, Zed's going to be out there dancing. He might even wear Indian feathers. He might have face paint on. You never know what Dustin's going to do. You never know. We'll see. That's a hint for you, Dustin. Video coming in a couple of weeks. But anyway. Okay. Appreciate everybody being here. You too. Stay tuned. I'll talk to you backstage real quick. And I reckon we'll see everybody next Wednesday. Right? Okay.
Adios.
See ya.